joined the Zoom, when I joined the Zoom, I felt the energy and the love in this space. And so thank you so much for those moments of grounding us, because it really does align with what I'm going to be talking about and sharing with you today. And so, brief moments, we're going to be talking about 3 things to focus on to help you know that you are right where you belong. And so, yes, you heard my bio and all of those things that God has blessed me to do, but this is where it all started for me. I am the daughter of a dreamer and a disruptor, and I like to show this picture because this is me in my business suit at the age of 6. So vision has a way of showing up in my life, and so my mom was the dreamer that always taught me that I could do whatever I wanted to. She's a professional singer, and my dad was the disruptor, the first African-American manager for Procter & Gamble company. And he had to push back on some things because of, his hair was too long. And, there were certain things that they wanted to force him to do to align. And he decided to push back against that, which changed hiring practices for Beauty Color moving forward. So this is what inspires me, and what has, guided me to become the person that I am today. And so we kind of talked about some of those experiences, and this is just my page of gratitude. Sometimes we forget those things that we have been blessed to experience. But as a part of my journey, I love collecting quotes. I have been collecting quotes since 2010. Words just inspire me. And the way people, one of the most interesting one is that my dog is a ninja. And that comes from my nephew, Neil, when he was like 7 years old. And he's such this quiet, introverted guy. But what that reminds me of is that children have such imagination, right? His dog is a ninja. And so that reminds me as an adult to continue to have that imagination. But in seeing this quote, it really takes me to a picture that I have on my wall. When I step out the shower every morning, I have a picture on my wall that says, "You are right where you belong." And so with the work that I do with entrepreneurs and women and, my passion for learning, sometimes I can get ahead of the game. And so I try to be intentional about focusing and reminding myself to be present, to be in the moment. And I love this quote because it talks about us looking at happiness as a location, as a destination. And so this is what we're going to focus on today. Just a reminder that you are right where you belong. Okay. So these are 3 ways to know that for yourself. How can you check in? How do you know you're right where you belong? And so the first is you have peace about the space that you are in. And so I wanted to look up the definition of peace, and really it is a grace and an ease that you have in what you're doing. You might describe it as a flow. It is harmony in the activity, in the environment in which you're working. And so if we were in a room together, we talked a little bit about the Bispiration brand, and I've created these cards, these image cards that I use with organizations and small groups to help with ideation. And so I'm going to pretend that we all picked the Bispiration card. And so I'm going to ask you, how does this image represent peace for you? And because of time, I'll just take one person's response. Think about what peace and how you define peace for yourself. And how does this image represent that for you? Anyone?
I'll jump in.
Thank you.
I think for me, I think water is just the most calming space you can be in. It doesn't matter if it's a lake, an ocean, a river. There is just something about water that is calming and serene and peaceful.
Yes. I'm in total agreement with you. Peace is one of the aspects that brings me joy, that aligns with my purpose. And so you have to know what that is for you. So when you're feeling that sense of peace, that is a reminder that this is a space where you belong. The second is purpose. And when we think about purpose, I like this image because there are two things with purpose. You are flowing in your joy, flowing in the gifts that you have been given, but you're also making a positive impact on others and you're inspiring them. So in this picture, we see the high five that shows we've made a positive impact. This is usually a symbol of like appreciation. We're on the same page, but also the woman on the side that's like clapping, it's like, yes, you've inspired me. She's invoked that image. So when you have that sense that you are inspiring people and you are making a positive impact with that thing that you do naturally, with that thing that you would do, as they say, for free, whatever that purpose gift is for you, that's how you know when you are seeing the fruit of positive confirmation that this is what is needed in this space from what you're offering. That helps you to know you are right where you belong. And so my purpose really is to help people reach their full potential. And that shows itself in different ways. And so I like to look at, helping people that are struggling with identifying and nurturing their purpose and leveling up their creativity. And so wherever there is an opportunity to develop purpose and creativity, that's where I want to be. And so let's take do another Bispiration exercise really quickly. We'll take one more person. How does this image represent purpose for you?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay. Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Christy. So good to see you. This is awesome. You know, when I look at this and with purpose, that we can't do it alone and that we need a team. And that, the quote I love too is that teamwork makes the dream work. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like they're climbing and helping each other and doing it together and all going in the same direction. And I love this. I think it's great.
Absolutely. This is what I love, Kathy. I'm in agreement with you. And I love that there are three that are helping to pull up the one, mm-hmm. right? Sometimes we kind of walk off and leave that one that's right. Still struggling a little bit because we figured it out, right? Our purpose affirms us and allows us to have strength in a particular area, but really it's not purpose if it's not making that positive impact on others and if it's not providing that inspiration to other people as well. So keeping that in mind, that it's peace and it's purpose. And the last is presence. With presence, you're leaving your footprint. And with this, people are seeking you out. You are not forcing your way. This is how you know that you are right where you belong. People are reaching out to say, hey, can you come help me with that strategy? Hey, can you come and help me with that centering myself and with that alignment? Hey, can you help me with bringing great women together that want to collaborate and network? Hey, can you help me with that financial literacy piece and that development and helping me reach my financial goals? You are not looking for a space to exist. You are present in that space. And so this is how you know that you are right where you belong. And so thinking about what types of spaces that you are invited to, this is where this helps you to see where your presence is needed. And here's what I want you to remember with it as it relates to presence. Sometimes where your presence is needed is not going to always be where you desire it to be. There have been spaces where my presence was needed and I had to serve, and I wanted to be out on the water, out on the beach, out in front of millions, sharing my purpose, but my presence wasn't needed in that space. So when we think about the alignment to help us remember we are right where we belong, this is where focus comes in. And when we think about focus, yes, this is my word for the year. So I want to affirm and share that with you as well here. But here's what I want you to think about as it relates to focus. I was listening to a message on Sunday from a pastor named Michael Todd, and he was talking about here is where the focus should be. He said here does not have the focus for there. You need to have focus for the present moment, because there is a distraction for here. Now, isn't that true? I mean, when you're so future focused, and yes, we should be strategic thinkers and have our 60 and 90-day plans, but sometimes we live in those future spaces as opposed to being present in the moment. And so this is your call to action. This is my plea to you. We need your full attention for here, because your presence is needed right where you are. So as we wrap up, I'm not sure how much time I have left, but as we wrap up, these are a few takeaways. In your flow, you will naturally experience peace that creates calm and harmony. You'll experience that purpose that creates that value and impact. And you will experience that presence that commands attention, not demands attention, not saying, here am I, look at me, but it commands attention and it inspires others. And so, I just like to leave you with a final resource. If you've enjoyed a little bit of what you've heard, there are more nuggets like this in my book, Dream Sync Launch, that speaks to my experience as a real entrepreneur. Those lessons that I've learned along the way coaching entrepreneurs. And so I would love to stay connected via LinkedIn, via this group. And so I truly, truly appreciate the opportunity to speak a little bit on today. So I'll leave this space open the last few moments that I have for questions or comments.
Thank you, Christy. Anybody with questions?
I just have a comment.
Yes.
I love Christy. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that last quote that from the pastor, that here does not have the focus for there.
Yes.
And I know with me, I'm always like charging ahead. And so that quote just really resonates with me, and I'm going to write it down and put it right by my computer so I can remember that to be present. And I think with so many times we're so busy in doing so many different things that it's just a great reminder to really be present and to be in the moment. And so thank you. I needed that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I have a question for you. How many minutes do I have left? If any? 5 minutes? Okay, I have a question for all of you. So now that you know, what are you going to do? So I'll start with Jessica.
This is great. And so everything you said is so relevant in my life right now, because I want to be present. I know the importance of it. And I have so many outside people trying to take away my presence. And so kind of putting boundaries on what I'm expected. Like Kathy and Karen know, like on Thursdays in our KBL meetings, I'm getting staff. I have to go in my car. I have staff knocking on the door, and it's like, this is my hour. This is what I need to do to be better, to grow, to be present for you where I'm needed. And it's a constant over here, over here, over here. And so, I need to set boundaries more for myself, and just, this is my time. You're going to have to wait a minute. And I know that's in the long run better for me. I need to do that.
Yeah, love that. Love that. And we'll help hold you accountable to that. Well, that's what your group is for. That's what your friends are for. Karen, what are you going to do?
Well, I love, focus. I really want to stay more focused. And that's actually one reason why I'm part of Kathy and Brad's program. My nonprofit needs all the focusing I can get.
Yeah,
so
love that. Love that. Missy. And thank you for being accountable to time. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you for sharing today, Christy. That was amazing. I have to say, for me, focus is definitely a piece. This last year has been crazy and amazing. And I think just within my own spiritual study, a lot of what you talked about today is kind of the practice that, you know, we live and do our best to execute, not always perfectly, but I think for me, I think it was just that reminder today of, you know, staying present in the moment and being aware of yourself and what's going on in your space. So
Yeah,
I
thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Jenny? Okay, we'll come back. Sheva?
Hi. So I just love the metaphors of anything with plants. So when I think about, oh, I need to move, I've got to find a different, place to live, or I've got to, whatever, whatever thoughts come through my mind, I just keep going back to bloom where you're planted, bloom here. You're needed here. And so that reminder that you gave about being just that you may feel a call for something greater or different, but in the meantime, you're being called to be right here, right now. So shine as bright as you can in this space. And I like that reminder. Thank you.
I just want to say your energy is palatable. It is tangible, and I needed that this morning. That sense.
Aw,
I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
thank you.
Tiffany?
I think what really stood out for me was even the sign that you have on your bathroom wall, that you are where you are right now, where you need to be right now. So I'm in the middle of something being birthed, and I need some answers fast. And so like in my head, I'm scurrying, trying to, what about this? What about this? What about this? And recognizing I'm exactly where I need to be. The answers are coming. It's inevitable, like it's coming. I just need to be able to be present, sit back, and be curious about how it's going to reveal itself, instead of me scurrying in this anxious and urgent energy, and just kind of being here. And it better come fast. I have a timeline, but being okay with it changes my energy, and being much more open and curious, and excited to see how this is going to evolve.
Yeah.
So thank you. It was a good reminder.
That reminds me, Tiffany, of a mantra that I use, which is trust your pace and your process. There are some things that I need to learn in the process, which is slowing down my pace. So, it's always bigger than me. The thing that I'm designing and the thing that I'm creating is not just for the other person. It's for the learning, it's for the connections, it's for all of that God is allowing me to experience along the way. So I will just say that this message, I don't get the luxury of studying and writing scripts and working on when I have the opportunity to speak to groups, to, marinate on it for weeks and months. And, God does not allow me to present that way. He typically gives me something in the moment, or he gives it to me the day before. And I have been in prayer for 2 weeks about what to say to you all. And I didn't get this until yesterday. So the clarity in it and the alignment with, I heard some of the words spoken this morning during the meditation piece, that just confirms for me that I am in purpose and right where I need to be, and trusting God to speak in and through me at his pace. So thank you for that experience as well. So appreciate being here with you all today.
Well, and Christy, I just want to say too that thank you, because with listening to you talk and taking that time to listen and to really take in. And I think, again, we're all so busy that is just so key. And I just love that you share that. So thank you. It's a great reminder.
You're welcome. So I'm going to hang out just for a little bit more, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course.
Love it.
Of course,
Love it.
Karen said you needed to be able to hop off at 9:30. So we wanted to make sure we got you in.
I appreciate it. Look, I've got 3 minutes, so I want to take it in as I can.
Well, I am gonna get us back to where we are. Heidi is having internet issues, so Tiffany, you want me to run PowerPoint then too? Or do you, oh, you got it? Awesome. Well, we are
Is this
gonna
where you want to
turn,
start back at the vision?
yes, please. We are going to turn this over to our fearless leader, Karen Hoffman, to share all about Gateway to Dreams and what it all means to her.
And hopefully our community. So we want to inspire dreams into action. And we believe by doing that, we can change the world. There are so many dreamers out there that lack support. In fact, the picture that Christy showed with the people helping up the mountain, we want to help people climb up the mountains. We want to inspire action and give voice and clarity to the dreams of individuals. And we see the ripple effect. There is a ripple effect that positively impacts the economic and social well-being of our community. The next one. I'm not going to read these. Actually, we're missing our latest one. Number 7 is actually about living from our strengths, but love more, judge less, positive possibilities, heart smart connections and collaboration, pay it forward networking, energetic empathy, empowering our language so that it's positive, and be strength-based. Next. This was in honor of one of our launching members, a pay it forward card or for random acts of kindness. Karen Garcia died in June of 2019, and this is in honor of Karen. We have those when we met face to face, we would pass these out to attendees that wanted them. Next. Oh, Lone Orange. Lone Orange is our hero. When we went to Zoom meetings, we didn't know if Gateway would survive, quite honestly. I, for one, did not like Zoom and did not know how to operate it. And Lone Orange and Tiffany came to our rescue, and she's been our Zoom facilitator since March of 2020. We love you, Tiffany. And she's the delegated person that I was talking about earlier. We have a sponsor today. Our sponsor is beautiful Missy Coleman with her company, Sage Skincare. Take it away, Missy.
Good morning, ladies. It's a little weird emceeing and being the sponsor, but here I am. So just a little bit about me. My background is in marketing and accounting. I landed in the skincare business coming up on 10 years ago now. I acquired this business as a client, an accounting client, and the owner of the company, her and I developed an amazing relationship, and I had the opportunity after taking almost 2 years to convince her to let me take ownership in the company. Her health was kind of failing. She didn't have a exit plan. And after having used the product for as long as I did, I was like, no one should be without this. So let's work this out. So Sage Skincare will be 40 years old next year or next month. And it is my pleasure to support Karen and Gateway to Dreams. So it's an honor for me to be your sponsor this month, and all my contact information is there. So give me a call if you want to talk about your skin and how we can help you. Yay.
Missy, there's something in the chat about, are you doing any, or somebody about your anniversary?
Yes, we will be having a big sale next month.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. Of course, we have to do something for our anniversary. That's a big one. So yes.
And you'll let us know where and when and everything, right?
Of course, of course. And if you want to get on our email list, you can go to the website as well. It's sageskincare.com and sign up, and that way you get everything. And we don't send a ton of emails, so maybe like once a month. So yes. All right, everybody, we are to the getting to know you part of our program, and this is an opportunity for us to share with one another what we're looking for, what we might need some assistance with, connections we need to make. It's a great opportunity to meet people you haven't met before. I know for me, there's many new faces on here today, even though we're a small bunch. So I'm looking forward to see who I land in a room with. But just take a picture of this. Tiffany puts you do put all the questions in, right, Tiffany?
I can't put them in the breakout room.
Okay.
So either take a picture of the screen or I put it in the chat, so you can copy that if you need to. There's also a PDF in the chat that you can download really quickly.
Okay, so I will take this opportunity just to go through it, just so you know what we're doing. Hi, my name is Missy Coleman. I own Sage Skincare. Our company specializes in skincare for all ages, all types. We have acne, aging, and everyday skincare products. I am looking for partnerships and connections with estheticians, med spas, dermatology offices. In my professional life right now, the only thing I need to do is order more product, which thankfully, due to the SBA, I can do that. And in my personal life right now, I actually am taking a short vacation next week, so going to Florida. And in the next 60 days, I am looking, which I already did the other day, purchase a new computer. And my dream right now is to get my radio show to its next level. And that is all about me right now. So the lovely Tiffany is going to divide us up and send us into our little rooms. So happy connecting with one another. And she'll let us know when to come back out.
Sounds good. So it looks like we got about 3 people in each room. So when you get in that room, just make sure you know who's going to go first. I'll give you, let's see, I'm about 8 minutes, Missy. We have about 8 minutes in the room.
Roughly, I think we usually do about 6.
Okay. We'll do 6 minutes. And yeah, so it'll have to be fast. So keep fast, and that way everybody gets a chance to talk. So I'm going to wave my magic wand and send you all into your breakout room. See you in 6 minutes. Right.
All right, ladies. Well, welcome back. We are going to move on to our next speaker. We have Jessica Cook of the Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa. Jessica is the owner of the Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa, a holistic approach to pet boarding, grooming, daycare, and training with a touch of luxury. Jessica is celebrating 18 years in business with 2 locations and was recently awarded 2021 Coolest Pet Place in America by industry professionals. Jessica is a consultant for pet businesses across the country and a guest speaker at animal industry conferences to share practices for today's pet business professional. Jessica is the founder of Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue, a nonprofit focusing on orphan dogs, no fault of their own, due to deceased or terminally ill pet parents. We honor the wishes of these beloved pets and find them happily ever after once more. Welcome to CPW, Jessica Cook, and I will turn this over to you.
All right. Well, thank you. And thanks for having me. I was so excited when Karen invited me because I just, as we were talking about in our little breakout group, I really last year and this year so far just want to really surround myself with positive people that are having visions. And if I can help them, if they can help me. And so today, whoops, am I on there? Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. That's my weak point. And so like Christy's finished off with her speech, I was going to prepare kind of what I needed to talk about, and I just figured I would just talk from the heart. And you guys, or Karen had suggested to kind of talk about my my journey and my just my background. And so I'll go a little bit more in depth because I normally have the elevator speech that I give the my other clients and everything, but I thought it was important to kind of dive in and tell you guys more about my why and my story and where I came from, and it's all kind of full circle why I do what I do. So I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have 4 furry dogs of my own, but I consider the 45 that I have in my rescue my babies until they are adopted. I've got 2 horses. I love to meditate, read. I do yoga, anything to do with spending time with my family. And so personal life, so we have, or business life, I've owned Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa for the last 19 years. And in 2018, I became a nonprofit rescue as well for rescuing pets that were orphaned due to deceased owners. And so how it kind of all started was, so when I grew up on on poverty, very poor. My house at a young age was condemned, food stamps. I didn't know, I had a wonderful childhood. I didn't know that we were poor because my family provided all the needs. But that I, at a young age, realized that I was more connected to animals, kind of an introvert. And I'm sorry. And so at age 14, when we were, I just never wanted to ask my parents for anything, and I knew I needed to be the change. So I got a job walking to work, and it was a dog bathing job, and I just wanted to know everything about it. I soaked up everything like a sponge. Fast forward 2 years later, 16 years old, I'm skipping school, running the store, making money, helping my parents with their bills and day to day. But I knew that there was, I knew I needed to do more. You know, what are you kind of taught? Go to college, get a degree. I wanted to break the cycle. So I started off in college and got a job doing IT recruiting. And I hated it. All of a sudden I went from loving what I did to, okay, this is an adult, this is what I need to do. I gained weight. I was extremely depressed. So I did that for about 2 to 3 years. And one day it was like a light bulb. I left and went on my lunch break and applied at a dog place. And that was that. I was happy again. It was my passion. I was finding it. I worked at that place for 7 years and worked my way all the way up to the top, and then found myself again more in the corporate side of it. But I would have stayed there forever. It was very lucrative. It was doing what I was doing. I love what I was doing. And at that time, then I was married, had a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old, and the daycare called me and said that my daughter needed to be rushed to the hospital. She was having a reaction to something. And my boss at the time had said, "You can't leave. It's holiday time. We need you. You cannot leave. You need to send grandma, dad." And so I did that. And as I was doing that, I was thinking, what am I doing? I'm choosing between my family, my job. And the next week I told my husband that I never wanted to feel that way again. And I quit my job and started Yuppie Puppy. So it was a struggle. It was back with me, a dream, and going forward. And but I've always pressed on. I love what I do every day. And every bit of that struggle and just pressing on, providing good service, doing what I do, has now led me to 19 years in business. I have 52 employees, multi-million-dollar locations. And now I find myself pushing forward and being able to do my purpose, which I feel like God has put me on this path and given me some financial security to help rescue in the community. To date, we are at 728 dogs that I have rescued and rehabilitated and found homes for. And the more I give back, the more success and just overall, I feel healthier and lightened. And I just want to press on, and all those struggles have led me to this, and I'm excited about what the future is. As we were in our breakout group, and I was telling Kathy, my goal is to just get a rescue facility offsite from my company and really use it as an education center so I can help stop the process, because I don't feel like people need or understand the need of, so Missouri is #1 in puppy mills 8 years in a row. There is hundreds of shelters and rescues in Missouri, and sometimes it hurts my heart because we rescue dogs and it's like mail. They just keep coming back in. So I really like to educate the population on why, you give up on the puppy, how the triple effect that affects on, you just probably put another one to the death sentence, and you took a spot and resources when what you needed to do is seek out training, seek out help, seek out friends to keep that dog in the home, and talk about spaying and neutering and what everybody can do, because it really is going to take a community involvement to make a difference in Missouri. So that's all I got. that's my journey. I could go on and on forever, so I don't want to ramble.
Jessica, I have one question, which is, do you happen to have another website specifically for the rescue, or is everything under Yuppie Puppy?
Yeah, so we have a rescue page on our Yuppie Puppies website. Facebook is a ton of where the day-to-day stories and all our available dogs and kind of what we're doing in the community.
Because I'd like to connect you with somebody, and I don't know, I know that if the word rescue was in there, they would be more apt. Okay, so I'm seeing somebody. Thank you, Tiffany. Take a picture of it.
I don't know if you guys remember when we adopted David and Goliath. They're now Wayno and Yachty, but she sweet talked my husband into 2 dogs that he doesn't even like, but now he's like, comes in the door, baby, come here, sweetie. And like, it's our house has so much positive energy from those 2 little stinkers. You mentioned that they fought a little bit, remember? Or didn't you, Jessica?
Yeah.
One night we were trying to figure out what to do for these guys, and we read that you should never spray it. So when I say what we did, don't judge me, but they would wake us up in the middle of the night fighting like cats and dogs, not like dogs, but cats and dogs, like they were going to kill each other. And so Rick finally took a spray bottle and he sprayed them. And now all they have to do is see the spray bottle, and they no longer fight with each other. It is the cutest. I mean, they don't run from us. They just like look and go, okay, stop. and they sleep with us. And if I could take them everywhere, I would take them everywhere. And
That's
the dog we adopted him for, my Marty, they play all the time. They run, they play, and anyway, I will never stop thanking you, Jessica, for my 2 little boys.
and thank you for adopting. You were able to help me save 2 more by taking those guys.
My granddaughter said yesterday, what do you see in them? Because I used to not like Chihuahuas either, and she doesn't, but she's looking at them and she goes, Grandma, what do you see in them? I go, they're my babies. So anyway, does anybody have any questions for Jessica? Or any maybe people that you know that could be part of her community of saving dogs' lives? Jenny, like you've got someone you want to connect her with?
No, but I have a question. Jessica, how close are you to your dream of opening that sanctuary? Are you currently looking at property, or is it just kind of
it's currently a dream, but I was telling Karen, so it's all about kind of I'm not suppressing it anymore. I'm telling everybody I can, because there's going to be, maybe they know somebody or they're following me or somebody knows somebody. So that is my ultimate goal, because so currently we have 45 rescues. So when I take in rescues in my business, they're taking up spots of my business. And I do have to be careful because it's, customers and paying clients. So I'm kind of a little bit restricted on when people tag me all day long. And dogs, unless I can get them into the vet right away, I'm unable, because I cannot safely bring them into the place, or more different cases. So that is the ultimate goal. I do use my meet and greet process and my rescue platform as an educational kind of topic already. As Karen knows, when her husband came in and was like, no Chihuahuas, 1 dog, and we kind of talked through, well, why? And let me change I knew they were going to be perfect for her, and we're more of a matchmaking service. So we don't have returns, because right now, to no fault to their own, the government shelters, when you go in there, you walk down an aisle, you say, that one's cute, you pay $40, you get it. Well, maybe Karen's husband would have thought a husky was cute, paid $40, and it's the worst dog ever, and he has to return it. So I really want to make sure that it's an enjoyable experience for everybody. And I call them our starter dogs for like families that have never had a dog. I'm not going to set them up for failure. I'm going to make sure it's a good match. Or if it's a single person that only wants 1 dog, then you really need to help that dog that needs to be a single dog. And this is why. So we've gained great traction. I do all kinds of Girl Scout meetings and kids with special needs that are afraid of dogs. So it's much more than animal rescue, but I would really like to be able to do even more.
I understand. And where are you located?
O'Fallon and Cottleville, Missouri.
Okay. My husband and I are sort of looking. We lost one of our dogs the early part of the pandemic, and then the other one last summer, I guess it was. They were older, but I wasn't sure if we wanted another, but we kind of go back and forth. So
yeah,
it would come pay you a visit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love for us to start putting it out there, because someone could be sitting on some land. Someone might have some commercial space that are, crazy dog lovers. I think the crazy dog lovers are the ones that want to help you. The crazy dog lovers that can't imagine a home without a pet. In fact, Sue Martin, I'm wondering if Sue Martin might know anyone in her foundation that she helps manage. Jessica,
I'm sorry, you cut out. My phone is doing.
Sue Martin, my friend Sue Martin, does she know your dream?
I don't think she knows the dream of that. She's been a wonderful supporter this last year. And one of her daughters actually adopted one of the dogs from me. That's how we first met.
Lauren?
And
Was it Lauren?
Yeah.
I love Lauren, but she might be someone to talk to. I think we lost Sheva.
We
Sorry,
lost her, yeah.
We did. She said goodbye.
she had to get off.
Yeah.
All right, and I, but if anybody else has any ideas for Jessica, reach out, and if you forget her number, you can reach out to me.
Because I think we should do some kind of fundraiser. And Jessica, if you have children's books about dogs or saving dogs, I'm glad to read them aloud on Zoom and maybe get people to donate towards your dream.
That's a cute idea.
Yeah.
And speaking of dreams, Jessica, Karen has put you in for Dream Tank today. So
Forgot that. Yes. So actually, we've almost naturally been doing this.
yes.
So the Dream Tank is just where we brainstorm ideas for you, like people you might talk to.
This is great.
So I nominate Sue Martin, and I'll reach out to her actually as her girlfriend. We're good friends, and ask her if she has ideas. But what about the rest of you? Jenny has someone that she wants to connect you to. And I love your idea. She's a professional reader, and gather up some good books that you like, maybe Caring for Pets, or maybe you pen your own first dog book, or first family book for the dog or something.
Yeah. That's
You
definitely, I've been working on that too, and I'm getting stuck. I'm trying to do a happily ever after tale for my rescue stories. And it's happy, but it's also talks, gets a little deep on, the hard part of rescue too.
But I wonder, okay, Jenny, here I go with my ideation. I wonder if your daughter could do some line drawings about, like for the artistry for the book. And Jessica, if you did a children's book, let's say it's 25 pages, and there's a dog on every page, and there's one simple, thing that you want a child to know about taking care of an animal. And then Jenny reads it, and her daughter does the line drawings.
Great idea. Yeah, my daughter does all sorts of illustrations for different people. She's working on a child's book right now. And you want to say hi, Jack? This is my daughter.
I'm talking about you and your
And
drawings.
a horse person, Jessica. So if you ever need her to groom, do anything with the horse.
Well, animals. She loves animals. She's got her own big dog, right?
Yeah, we have 2 dogs, and we just volunteered to take horses last week at a camp.
What about you, Missy? You got any thoughts or ideas besides driving out there and having you fall? And it's a process. You get to sit in this room that has a chair like a king or queen, well, actually a double seater. And it's this big room where you hang with the dog they bring you, or the dogs. And then when we adopted, we brought our Marty in to make sure that they got along. I don't know if you remember, my dog pissed on my feet.
Yes. Yes.
To show whose I was. But it's an experience. It's not just go in and look in these sad gray cells. In fact, that's one of the things that I love, is that these pups being rescued get to be nurtured, and all the animal places want to take care of dogs. This isn't like they don't, but usually they're sad places.
Yes. Yes.
Very sad, cheap places. So this feels joyous and loving.
Well, that's amazing.
Hey, Heidi, any thoughts? I know you're at work, so.
Yeah, I don't have it. Everything I think about is like the farm I grew up on, and everything's like back in like the Midwest part of the state. But yeah, if I think of anything, I'll definitely pass it along to you, Jessica.
Absolutely. We're gonna try to, we've only had like little small in-house fundraisers. And so this year I told Maureen, who works for me and has great connections, we're going to try to have like a gala, like have a fancy rescue. Everybody loves the dogs and party. So I've never had a giant fundraiser. So we're going to see if that's a success and try it out this year.
I'm sure that will be a huge success because people so want to take care of dogs, and I'm sure it'll be amazing.
And Jessica, I don't know if you know, but every year Connections to Success would do their big gala at the Ritz and make tens, well, I don't even know how much, but ask Kathy and Brad how much they brought in from their event at the Ritz.
Okay.
It's huge, it's beautiful, they have a book where like, I mean, they have like the agenda is a book, and it has a lot of paid advertising in it and a lot of stories about their successes. It could be, yeah. And I don't know who all is involved in it, but Brad and Kathy, remember when Brad says, and you do these big events that take so much time, but they would also have people, some donors match, like the impact group would match like a $10,000 donation. They would match them. It's Melissa, Missy, you came to one. Jenny, you came to one, right?
Oh yeah, we came.
The year
was
before
it when you got honored?
Yeah, well, she would honor me every year, so.
Okay, but it was that year before, I think, the pandemic.
Oh, the 2019. Yeah, and then I think Jenny, you came one time.
Yeah.
And it was,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
they had silent auctions. They had one of the airlines donated tickets for like yeah, I think you and Maureen should plan a one-on-one with Kathy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we want to do it like September, October, so we can really get the venue nailed down and, and then we're kind of trying to see what's going on with COVID, because I don't want to plan this big event and something go through.
We canceled our impact awards 4 times already. So yeah, it's hard to predict the future nowadays.
Yeah.
So, so I guess this was our informal dream tank, Missy.
It was. It always works out perfectly.
It always works out perfectly. All right. So what is next?
Next we have testimonials and shout outs and all that good stuff. We're such a small bunch today, but
I would like to share, we have Joy of Goals this weekend, and this woman who wrote me a letter about Joy of Goals, I wish I had it in front of me, but she attended and then wrote 2 books. But she said, I never told you how Joy of Goals impacted me. And she had written 2 books and she was coming back, but her husband had bought it for her to come to a couple of years ago. And that just felt so good because we don't always know, the impact we are making.
Well, I think just from, the years I've been with you, I mean, the testimonials that people have, I mean, you are such an influencer in so many of our lives, and just the connections that we get through knowing you is amazing. So I just want to applaud you, Miss Karen, and
I love you, Missy.
how grateful I am to be part of this community. So yes.
Okay, so what is our next one? The song, or what is next?
No, next we get to introduce your board and all of that.
So we need to update this because Deborah Leanne has been on the board for like 7 years.
Oh, that's right.
And then Dr. Marty Casey is not going to be on the board because of her busy life with her ungun movement. So
which is amazing.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes.
So are you saying both Deborah and Marty are both leaving?
Yeah, Deborah had planned to this in 2022, but Marty just found she could not keep up with our board and her travel. So they're gonna kind of like be, I don't know, well, I want to come up with a special word, like not on the board, but on the board. Because they're available to us.
They
So
just
Kathy
don't-
Lambert has been on since the beginning, and Tracy Flo has been on since the beginning, and Debbie Josendale, when her husband died and she was living in Colorado, she came back to St. Louis, and one of the first people she sought out was me, and felt like Gateway to Dreams brought her back to life after losing him. And she's been on the board a few years. Dawn Berry is our newest board member. She's actually works with American Family. And American Family is the only company I know in the world that is really investing in dreams and the dreams of their employees. It's an amazing, they have a dream bank in Madison, Wisconsin, and they host a lot of things like we do. I want to go there. Deborah went there. I want to go there. When this pandemic goes away. So.
I like what Tiffany put in there.
Yeah. Let me see, what did Tiffany put? I got to go back to chat.
They can be members at large. Those are supporters, but with no fixed commitment. But then they
They
still
are
have recognition.
members at super large. They are awesome. Thank you for that. And what is next?
Next are all of our volunteers.
Oh, wow.
who
Yeah.
We probably, is there more to add?
Yeah, probably. And then we also need to, for those that don't know, we have a new program where we're using the Gallup organization's strength-based, what our strengths are, along with hopefully helping people with their dreams. So these volunteers, Debbie Josendale is actually going through the strengths finders with them, helping them know their strengths. Jenny, can you mention what happened when you went through your strengths?
Oh, wow. I was kind of disappointed and upset because my strongest strength was empathy, and I could not figure out, I mean, I saw it, I was like, yeah. However, my last was achievement, and I was like, how do you do anything if you're really empathetic, but you can't achieve anything? And I was devastated. And Debbie is such a cheerleader, and she was like, oh yeah, there are people in this world who have no empathy and would love to feel that and feel that support. And I just couldn't figure out how that was going to ever work. And so she gave me some ideas, and she gave me actual some technology that would be helpful to me. And she continues, and even today, she just texted me something about empathy from somebody who did a podcast on it, because she says, every strength is needed, and just because it's not that you don't have all of those 34 strengths, it's just that you usually lead with one, and I just happen to lead with empathy. And she made me feel a lot better about having that.
I love that about you. So what's after our volunteers, Missy? Donations, we always look for those.
Yes. Yes.
And what's
then
next?
Our closing quote for the day, which I love how it always ends up being the perfect quote of the day, not knowing what we're going to talk about, but if you can dream it, you can do it. So
I thought it was interesting that KD standed for Christy Dream, or like that. I didn't know that. I think whoever asked that question, Jenny, I think it was you.
Yes.
And is the
And-
next one the song, which is sometimes weird for people, but we have a kind of a ritual for this song.
Yes.
So Jessica, one of my friends wrote the song, I Am Responsible. And I heard it in 2014, but there was a morning where I kept hearing God tell me to invite her to our CPW meetings, which we held in Chesterfield Mall. And they started, I don't remember what time they started, 8 o'clock or something. I don't know if you guys remember.
Same time. We started like
time?
at 8:45.
But I was getting this message real early when I was taking my dog out to call her to come sing it. And I don't call anybody before 8 o'clock. Like that's a rule, right? And it was like 7 or 6:30 or something like that. And I kept hearing God go, call her. And I'm like, no. And then finally I called her and I said, okay, Pookie, God made me do this because I don't call this early. And I said, do you want to come and sing the song? And she wasn't really a morning person, but she was like, yeah, I'll be there. And we have been singing it since, because the words about to me are what will make our world better. And even like if you read it with I am responsible for the dogs in the world, you know. So we sing it, but we mute ourselves, and then Tiffany or Missy has Pookie singing. So this is how we close, and it's a little weird. And all right.
I like weird.
Okay, good. All right.
It's a
So,
great song.
All right, so I'm gonna mute everybody and we will end up with this. So I will play the music. You can sing along, but just because Zoom only picks up one mic at a time, I'm gonna mute everybody else. So here we go, and then have a great month. We'll see you next month. Everybody can see the words, right? And can you hear it now?
am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Looking round the world, and what do I see? So many things in a state of need, pain and suffering all around me. I won't stand by and just let this be, 'cause I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Everywhere, everyone wants to be free. Some look around and say, it's not me. How can they close their eyes and not see? It all comes down to me, because I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I said I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I'm reliable, accountable, dependable, invincible. I'm capable, incredible, responsible. I'm reliable, accountable, dependable, invincible. I'm capable, incredible, responsible. 'Cause I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I say I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. To leave the world a better place. To leave the world a better place. Come on and leave the world a better place. Yeah.
All right. Good singing, everybody.
Hey, Jessica, I loved what you said. We should play this everywhere. It's motivational. Yay.
It
All
is.
right. See you guys later. Bye.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.